So in the hollow cylinder has an external radius and an inner internal radius, and the thickness of the material, as I said, is r minus r, which is represented by which is I've shown you with the help of these two arrows. Now the question here is the in this figure shows a metal pipe 77 centimeter long. So that means the height of this is given. What is the height here? Height is 77 centimeters. Okay, there's no question of inner height and outer height. The height remains the same. The inner diameter of a cross section is 4 centimeter. What do you mean by a cross section? If you cut it from here, okay, then if you cut the cylinder from here, then what area will be visible to you? You will see this circular ring here. Okay, you'll see this circular ring. The circular ring will look something like this. Okay, and this is your material here. The shaded part will be your material, and this inner circle will be your hollow. This is your hollow part. This blue is your hollow part. Okay, so when you cut it, that is a cross section that you are going to see. The inner diameter of the cross section is 4 centimeter. Inner diameter of the cross section means this diameter. Inner diameter here, this diameter is 4 centimeters. Okay, and the outer one is 4.4. Outer diameter, that is this diameter, is 4.4. Okay, so from the inner and outer diameters, we can get the radius. Inner and outer radii. Inner radii, small r, is inner diameter divided by 2. So this is 2 centimeters. Okay, and outer radius is inner radius. Okay, so this is you've got the inner and the outer radii. Question is find the inner curved surface area. First question, inner curved surface area. What do you mean by inner curved surface area? Inner curved surface area means this cylinder that you see, you have a curved surface here. Okay, this curved surface here, except the two circles on top and bottom. Okay, this is what your inner curved surface area is. And what should be the inner curved surface area? Inner CSA is 2 pi r, small r, mind you, because we are talking about the inner cylinder, 2 pi r h. And simply put the values. Since nothing is no value of, they haven't specified any value of pi. Put pi is equal to 22 by 7. The radius is 2 and the height is 77 as given here. Height is given to you as 77 centimeters. Then you can cancel here, and what you get here is 968 centimeter square on multiplication. Next, outer question is find the outer curved surface area. Outer curved surface area. Outer curved surface area will be 2 pi capital R, because we are talking about the outer cylinder, H. Okay. Again, put the value. Again, multiply to get the outer curved surface area as 1064.8 centimeter square. The last part is how to get the area of in fact, the total surface area. Now, what is the total surface area of this hollow cylinder? If you see, the total surface area of this hollow cylinder is, first of all, the area of the circular ring at the top, right? area of this circular ring at the bottom plus the inner curved surface area, this one. Okay, so this inner curved surface area plus the outer curved surface area. Talking about the outer curved surface area, this one. Okay, so the outer area. So imagine if you can't understand, imagine a tin can. Okay, a tin can has a certain thickness. If the can is open on top, then what is the total surface area? First of all, you consider the inner surface area, right, of the tin can. Then the outer surface area of the tin can, and then the area that is on the top and the bottom, from where you open the, from where you cut the tin. Okay, so from the top, you have that small thickness of the tin on top, the circular part. That thickness also you will consider. That is also include the certain area. So that is what the total surface area is. So uh, what should be the total surface area of the hollow cylinder? The outer curved surface area plus the inner curved surface area plus 2 into the area of the area of the concentric circle, right? Because there are two concentric circles, one on top and the other below. The concentric circle means circular ring, plus 2 into area of the circular ring. So therefore, right, total surface area is equal to inner curved surface area plus outer curved surface area plus twice of area of the two circular rings. Area of a circular ring, not two, because two I have already written, plus area of a circular ring, because I've already written a 2 here. Okay, so inner curved surface area, we have calculated this to be 968. The outer, we have calculated this to be 1064.8. The only part that remains is area of the circular ring. So twice of, what is the area of a circular ring? Pi capital R square minus small r square, right? So pi, what is capital R square? In this case, it is, I think it's 2.2, yes. 2.2 minus 2 square. That is what the area. Now put the value and just calculate that, plus twice of 22 by 7, the value of pi. And this you can evaluate very easily: a square minus b square, a plus b into a minus b. Okay, so this cancels by 0.6. So therefore, if you multiply now everything, you will get 2038.0, multiply and add centimeter square. This is the total surface area. So this was the case of a hollow cylinder. We now come to the next problem, that is this one, concerning a lead pencil. A lead pencil consists of a cylinder of wood with a solid cylinder graphite filled in the interior. Okay, so you have a pencil and you have, if you see a pencil, you have a graphite nib inside it, a long graphite nib, and which is surrounded by wood. The diameter of the pencil is 7 millimeters in fact, and the diameter of the graphite is 1 millimeter. So how will the pencil look like? The pencil looks something like this. It in fact looks like a hollow cylinder. Not in fact hollow, but somewhat, because we don't have any space inside. You don't have a hollow space inside. The pencil will look something like this. A little longer, but just drawing a small one. This is your graphite part of the pencil. Okay. So this, let me shade in black. This is your graphite part. The nib from which you write. Okay. And this part is your wood. So in fact, this is looks like a hollow cylinder, but actually it is not a hollow cylinder because that graphite part is not a hollow. This is your wood. Okay. A lead pencil consists of, okay, fine. The diameter of the pencil is 7 millimeters. So this diameter is 7 millimeters, and the diameter of the graphite is 1 millimeter. This graphite, the diameter is 1 millimeter. If the length of the pencil is 14 centimeters, that means the height of this cylinder is 14 centimeters. Find the volume of, I think it's wood. Okay, yes, volume of the wood. That means the volume of this red part that I have shaded. Okay. So what should be the volume of the red part? Volume of the red part will be volume of the outer cylinder minus the volume of the inner cylinder. Okay. Let us first find out the outer radius. Outer radius here is 7 millimeters, which is outer diameter in fact is 7 by 2 millimeters, which is 3.5 millimeters, which when converted to centimeter becomes 0.35. This is your outer radius. What about the inner radius? Centimeters, sorry. 0.05 centimeters. Okay. So we've got the outer and the inner radius. So what is the volume of graphite? Graphite means the inner cylinder. Volume of graphite. It is pi r square h. Take pi is equal to 22 by 7 because nothing is mentioned. R square, radius is 0.05 square, and h here is 14. You can cancel this. You get 22 into 0.05 into 0.05 into 2. Okay. So what you get here is you multiply, you get 0.22 centimeter cube. Okay, this is the volume of graphite. Next, volume of the pencil. This time it is pi, capital R square h. Put the value of pi. Capital R, we have found this to be 0.35. Height is 14. This comes out to be 5.39. So therefore, what should be the volume of wood? Volume of the pencil that we have found out here, 5.39 minus the volume of graphite. Therefore, volume of the wood is equal to volume of the pencil 5.39 minus volume of graphite comes to 5.17 centimeters. Okay, so this finishes the part on cylinders, but cylinder is actually not finished because we'll again be coming back to cylinders once we will be doing the combination of solids and conversion of one solid to another. So certain other variations of problems you will also come across in cylinders when we'll be doing these. We start with cones now. Acquaint yourself with the formulas first. Now is also
Okay, sir.
a cone is also a, you know, somewhat like a cylinder, but a little different, except that it is not. It has a base radius definitely. Okay, just as a cylinder has a base radius, a cone also has a base radius, circular base. But this time the base is only one. So therefore, this is a circle, the center of this circle, and this is your radius here.